Hello people, it's been a while, but welcome back to my playthrough of Final Fantasy XIII. So, just to get you up to speed, I've had a few technical issues with some of the videos, so I have missed a couple of bits of the storyline. So the last video ended when I was in the middle of I was in the middle of grinding with Saz and Vanille at Nautilus Park. So we've missed, because of the technical issues, we've missed the end bit of that. You missed the end boss, missed the Saz had an Eidolon battle with his Eidolon Brunhilde. So we got that, and we're now on board an area called the Palamecia. The Palamecia is it's this big, huge ship in the air with lots of. It's got lots of enemies that drop really useful things, including credit chips and incentive chips. So I've been grinding this area like crazy at the moment. Other bits of the story, basically you've only really missed the end of Nautilus Park and a few bits of storyline in the Palamecia, which just explains how all the gang are here. So when you first start here, you're with this setup of Lightning, Fang and Hope. Snow's with you, but he's not available to fight with.
You know what to do.
And there's also been a couple of areas with Saz and Vanille. You discover that during the end battle at Nautilus Park, you discover Saz finally discovers that Vanille is the one who turned Saz's son Daj into a lassie. Daj and Saz are very quickly reunited, but then Daj turns to crystal, and that's basically what spurs Saz on into his Eidolon battle. You then find out that Vanille and Saz are also on the Palamecia in a different area, and to cut a long story short, Saz basically decided to forgive Vanille for what happened, and they're just pressing on ahead with their missions. So this area, the Palamecia, this is one of the best areas in the middle of the game to do a lot of grinding for both for gil and for just general items and experience, because, as I said earlier, excuse me, there's a lot of enemies here that drop credit chips and incentive chips. So I've been running around this place like crazy, grinding those. Ended up with grinding a lot of money. I'll maybe just show you. No, not with that. I'll show you how much I've been grinding, because you'll see by the Crystarium points that all the characters have got. And if I press the right button, there we go. Yeah. They're all on six-figure Crystarium points, so because they're all at their full Crystarium just now, and I won't get another Crystarium expansion until the end of this area. But the next Crystarium expansion is one of the biggest ones. Is one of the biggest ones in the game so far, because lots of things are going to open up. I won't say much more about that until we actually get to that area. So Yeah, your best technique for a lot of these enemies, just stick with the relentless assault or the aggression paradigm. That's the either 2 commandos and a ravager or 2 ravagers and a commando. Feel free to switch between them if you're feeling that way, but the best thing to do is to stagger. Excuse me. To stagger enemies and then just whack them with the commando. Some of the later enemies in this section will require a bit more tactical fighting, but for most of this little section you can just stick with the relentless assault one, because it's the most effective at killing these things. As well as gaining Crystarium points, I've also done a lot of weapon upgrading, so all the weapons that people have got just now, they're all at the highest level that they can get just now, because next stage they'll need what's called a catalyst to upgrade it to the next level, and everyone's weapon needs different catalysts, so I can talk more about them later when I go into more detail of weapon and accessory upgrade. If you've been following these videos, then you'll know that I did a little bit of accessory upgrading earlier in the game at the Vile Peaks when I first got the option to upgrade weapons. And I've been doing little bits here and there, but because
keep a cool head.
Just as well I spotted that lightning was taking a bit of a pounding there. So because this area is so good to grind for Gil and the likes, it's a good place to do a lot of weapon upgrading, and that's what I've been doing. And I've also been just generally getting more Gil. I have been, I'll show you that in my inventory, I've just been spending Gil on components. Main thing's been getting a sturdy bones, because they're one of the best things for putting the experience multiplier onto your weapons and accessories. And crankshafts at this early stage in the game are the best, give the most experience on the accessory and weapons when you upgrade them. And perovskite, that's I've also been, when I've got particularly big windfalls, I've been buying some of these catalysts. Yeah, that's really all I've got to say about that. So the enemies in there, you've probably been seeing, if you've during these fights, of these watch drones drop paraffin oil, which is another good thing for upgrading weapons if you want to use that. And the other flying enemies, I think they're called dragoons. They've been the ones that have been the most likely to drop credit chips and incentive chips. Yeah, these things. You think I've played this enough? You think I'd know all these enemies' names off by heart by now, but...
Let's get this over with.
Psycom Dragoon, yeah, I knew you had Dragoon in there somewhere. Sometimes with a big group like this, it's good to switch to the two commanders paradigm, because for some weird reason, when you've got two commandos, one commando will attack while you've got your playable character attacking one enemy, the other commando will attack a different enemy. Don't know why they do that, but sometimes it's quite handy for big groups of enemies, because in some cases it means you can kill off two different things at once if they're weak enough. So, but generally the aggression paradigm, that's the one with the two commandos, is best to use against one enemy when you've staggered it, so that the two commandos can just pile in on for maximum damage. Now with these ones, I recommend taking out the infiltrators first, because they can do mana drive cure up, which obviously cures the other enemies, and also they're weaker. And the other ones, they're a bit stronger, but they do stagger a lot quicker. But they also they can guard your attacks, which and they also can occasionally inflict pain onto characters. Pain's an affliction, it means you can't use physical attacks. And if that's something that affects Fang, because she's largely reliant on physical strength, that's a bad affliction for her to have, because her magic isn't particularly strong.
Let's get this over with.
In one of the rare instances that you can preempt these guys and then do the use Quake, which should get them all staggered, and then switch to the aggression paradigm. And then you can, if you've got multiple enemies staggered, you can get the two commandos to attack two different people, and then that could wipe the team out quicker. Now for these guys, go for the raiders first. So they are a little bit weaker. And I just I can't remember if I've mentioned it on another video, but normally when you put input commands, you just input and then just let the AI do its thing. But if you want to get the character to attack sooner, say if it's just about to lose its, if an enemy is just about to lose its stagger gauge, or if you just want to finish it off quicker, on Xbox, if you press the Y button, that will just get your lead character to just attack.
Easy.
To do whatever's lined up. And also the good thing about this Palamecia area is there's several areas where you can cause enemies to respawn, so that's why this is such a good area to do a lot of grinding. So I'm just going to run through here, and through here, when you first reach the Palamecia, this is the area that you first land on.
You know what to do. Time for another approach.
And yes, it's these enemies that you fight when you first land here. Now, when I first landed here, obviously I didn't have a full Crystarium for these characters, so it's a bit tougher to fight, but now they're a doddle.
No problem.
Yay, credit chip. And if you need to, there's a save point. But it's up here. And then when you first come here, you do a lot of gravity-defying jumps up to that area, and then there's a whole different path you lead to. But it basically takes you to that area, that bit where I started this area. And there's a couple of treasure chests along the way. Yeah, get back in here and these enemies have respawned. So, if you want to do a bit of toing and froing between these areas to respawn these areas, these guys, and grind them for credit chips and incentive chips, and feel free. But yeah, the reason I'm doing the pressing the Y button and getting the characters to attack straight away is because when those raiders have got guard up, even though the attacks do less damage, if you attack them with Ravagers, their stagger gauge will go up a lot quicker.
Easy.
And then you can stagger them, and then even staggered when they've got guard, if the commando attacks, they'll basically still attack with the full force. So I'm just gonna kill these guys again.
Let's get this over with.
And yeah, notice another trick.
Keep a cool head.
These in a lot of these groups, these huntresses start their fight by putting loads of buffs on themselves. So it's a good idea to get. You've only got one saboteur just now, and that's Fang. But she's got the spell. So get her to spam the spell on the huntresses.
Didn't even break a sweat.
And that'll get rid of all the buffs, and then you can just and usually by that time you've got staggered, so once you've done that you can pretty much knock them out. So remember, these ones take the infiltrators out first because they're weaker. I'm just going to switch to the aggression. Bedtime. Oh yeah, another thing that those raiders can sometimes inflict on you is fog. Fog is an affliction that prevents you from using magic attacks, which in this group would, if it landed on Hope, that would really screw him over because he's got no physical attacks even as a Ravager. So that would, if Hope ever got afflicted with fog, he'd be completely useless. So then you'd probably have to get a jump onto a paradigm where lightning was the healer, and then get her to cast Asuna on him.
Target's a target. Change of plan. Keep the enemy off balance. As if there was any doubt.
So, round this corner you're going to fight another kind of enemy, these big things called Vikings. They're
On your toes.
quite tough because they've got a lot of hit points, but fighting one on their own, they're not too much of a threat. But when you get to a later section of this game, you have to get into fights where you have to fight 3 of them, and yeah, 3 of these things is a bit more difficult. So with this one, all you do, just stagger it like you would in online, and then switch to the aggression paradigm and just whack it silly. Also, if you want to, they're quite susceptible to slow, so feel free to switch to the smart bomb paradigm, which has Fang as a saboteur to inflict slow onto it.
Let's get this over with.
These ones get rid of the raiders first. That one's staggered. It's going to switch to that smart bomb so Fang can start dispelling these buffs on these huntresses. Oh shit. Just realised Fang was taking a bit of a beating there. Smart bomb one on again, so start getting rid of the other huntresses' buffs. And then aggression, that should finish her off quickly. There we go.
Easy.
Oh yeah, you'll notice back there the other enemies have respawned. If you're playing this and you want to go fight more things to get more credit chips, then feel free, but I've already ground this place to death, so I'm going to just finish this area now because I'm bored of it now. I'll tell you, so now we'll get rid of the raiders first because they're weaker. Focus on the raiders and then focus on the Viking with this one. So I'm going to switch to the smart bomb one because it's like inflicted with snow, plus it's 3 magic attacks, so that will push the stagger gauge up a lot quicker. And yeah, you can inflict it with curse as well if you like, but I personally don't think curse makes much difference to this fight.
Keep a cool head. ahead.
So once you've staggered it, just get the aggression paradigm out and whack it silly.
No problem.
No, you're right, Hope, it wasn't a problem. There's a nice save point there if you want to cash in all your incentive chips. I'm going to wait till I get to the end of this section and just have a big windfall. This and I want to focus on the infiltrators first because they're weaker. And then go for the raider. So up at this last stretch of corridors, just sort of various combinations of huntresses and raiders and infiltrators and Vikings preempted these two, so wait to stagger them both. I won't bother with the spelling them because you switch to the aggression plate and it should finish these bitches off quickly. There we go. Yay, incentive chip. Extra pennies. Oh, and I think I've preempted this one as well.
Let's get this over with.
Yay! So another easy fight. I don't think I'll even bother switching to the aggression paradigm because this one's... These are gonna... Yeah, there we go. Easy. Not so lucky with these guys. That's fine. These are 3 infiltrators. Should be an easy fight. Might do just switch to the aggression paradigm because get 2 commanders focusing on these and they go down very quickly. It's fine.
We can win if we stay focused.
Yes, we can. This is going to be a tougher fight because the huntresses are a little bit stronger than the other soldiers in this area. So
You asked for it.
the debuffing really helps with these.
New strategy.
Switch to the debuff one as well again. Oh.
You asked for it. Nothing personal.
And then focus all your efforts on the Viking. Nothing huge to worry about when there's only one of them, but the next section is where you're likely going to have to fight 3 of them in one battle, so that's when you're going to have to be more tactical with your fighting. And then switch to the aggression and just whack it silly. There we go.
Easy.
Now, before, as I was mentioning earlier, there was another section with Vanille and Saz, and just when I first got to this area, that's when it would cut to their scene, and then once you did their bit, which was very, very short, then you got to come back to this bit, and yeah, this bit's a bit more difficult. And these are the battles with the 3 Vikings I was telling you about. So you're gonna have to be a little bit more tactical with this one. So good thing is they're easy to preempt, so you can do the preempt and then switch to the aggression paradigm, so Fang and Lightning can both attack 2 different ones, and because they're staggered you'll hit them for maximum damage. And Hope, particularly if they're all grouped together like that, he'll do the arrow spells which can hit multiple enemies, so take full advantage of them being staggered. Oh. Oh, bollocks. Hope's been knocked out. This is why you've got to be a bit more careful with these, because these things are a lot more deadlier when they're in groups.
Thank you.
So, what's a good tip with these guys? Get a synergist roll on the go, and Hope, because he's got bar fire and these things, and use that thermal discharge, which is a fire-based attack. With bar fire, that will do a lot less damage. And yeah, feel free to wait till you put protect on everyone for extra damage protection, and then what you're best to do is just switch to the Relentless Assault, or go to the Smart Bomb if you want to, and then just focus your efforts on one of the Vikings at a time. The other one will probably be a bit of a pain in the arse, but it's so much easier to just focus on one Viking at a time. And then once you've got it staggered, I recommend just sticking with the Relentless Assault so that you can focus it on killing one of them. And then focus on the other one. Thankfully, because you got a good bit of damage in at the beginning of the fight, shouldn't take too long. So in this case I will switch to the aggression then, because that first attack with the Ravager is what pushed it over its stagger limit. And then,
just like I planned.
And then you just finish it off. Now, I've been around this area a few times before, but I didn't pick up the treasure chests, so I'll open them this time, so you can see what's in them.
Back me up.
It's another one. Focus on the infiltrators, because they're so that they can't cure. And then the Vespid soldiers aren't particularly strong either, so in this case I'm just going to switch to the aggression and finish them off quickly, especially if Lightning or Fang doesn't do Blitz, then you can get multiple attacks on them. Oh fuck. Oh, took a little risk because I knew Sinalair Lightning didn't have a lot of hit points left, so thankfully he was nearly dead. They were nearly dead, so wasn't a huge issue. So what's in this treasure chest? pain dampener. That could be useful in certain fights. So I'm going to go into the... right. This is one of those 3 Viking fights where I wasn't so lucky to preempt them, so... in this case, I'm just going to jump straight into the Synergist paradigm and just get hope to buff up everyone with the bar fire, and I'll keep it on till protect as well. During that time, Fang can inflict some damage to them as well. Hopefully put slow on them, which should make them do slightly less. Well, because they'll be slow, they won't be doing as much damage. And well, this case, I reckon the best tactic is just concentrate your efforts on one of them and just stick with the relentless assault one until you're down to just one left. That's one gone. Switch the smart bomb one so that's extra magic on the... and this is one of those you will have to keep a close eye on hit points, because even with the bar fire and the protector, it can still hit you with it can still hit you pretty hard if you let them. I've got the other one staggered. Again, I'm just going to stick with the relentless assault until it's finished off. Anyway, it's nearly finished, so I'll switch to the aggression one so that...
You asked for it.
Switch the aggression just so I can start the stagger gauge on the next one. And then you just switch to smart bomb for the extra magic, so they can stagger it quicker. And now I'm just gonna absolutely storm in with the aggression and just whack it silly. And then that's it gone.
Easy.
Wasn't that easy, Lightning? Don't get cocky. Use your usual fight technique with the 2 huntresses. Feel free to debuff them if need be. Yeah, with these debuff, if it's just 2 of them, then debuffing certainly helps, but you could easily win the fight if you could still easily win the fight if you just left them with their buffs. Oh, obviously it would just take a little bit longer. These guys, you might remember weaker version. Oh no, you won't, because these things, Thermodons. Oh, you'll probably remember weaker versions of them in the Sunlit Waterscape, the bunker beasts. Because we're a bit more buffed with this one, switch to the smart bomb too. So the trick with these is just stagger it quickly and then just lay into it. Because when it's staggered, the shell will go away and it will become vulnerable to a lot more damage. But yeah, there was another version of them in the area of Palamecia, but because of the technical issues, didn't save that. Wasn't able to save those videos. But anyway, that's not important. Oh, nugget of rhodochrosite. Although that's good, but don't think rhodochrosite's going to be much more use anymore, because everything that they're only really useful for upgrading one stage of the for upgrading one stage of the bangles that give you more hit points. And I've already got them at as high a level as I can get them just now. Preempt for this. Let's use Quake.
No hesitation.
Oops.
Change of plan.
Switch the aggression. Get rid of the Huntress, and all the while getting some of the Vikings hit points down. Oh, that stagger didn't last very long. Ah well. Stagger out reasonably quickly. Yeah, I took a little risk there with Hope still at low hit points, but I'd almost staggered him, so it was worth the risk. These vested soldiers are pretty easy. Yeah, I had a feeling this was one of the fights where you fight soldiers and a thermidor. In this case, just focus on the raiders. Just hit them with the Ravager attacks earlier, so you stagger quicker. Ow! Never mind. I'm trying to kill these enemies here. Giving me your bloody photon bursts.
Time for another approach.
So, same approach, just spam it with magic to stagger it quicker. Ouch.
Thanks.
There we go.
Just like I planned.
So there's another treasure chest up here. Let's find out what's in it. Better be something good. A white cape. That That, if I remember rightly, protects you against slow. Oh, it's the 3 Vikings fight again. So, preempt, thank Philip. Quake.
Keep a cool head.
Switch to the aggression fight. And just get Fang and Lightning to batter the hell out again. And hopefully if they stay in that formation every time Hope hits, he hits all 3 of them. Switch. Oh, especially since Lightning is the one that was oh shit. Let's raise hope, because without another medic in this team we're screwed. There we go, that's early battering, thanks to the preempt. Got 2 of them weakened, so we'll take the second one out quicker. So just spam this one with magic and then switch to the aggression and batter the hell out of it. That shouldn't take too long.
And I was just getting started.
Still only a couple more enemies to fight and then this section's complete. There's another treasure chest to pick up. I'll make sure I pick that up before I go. Did I preempt this one? Good. So this will be an easy fight. Quake. There we go, that was easy. Oh, 48 minutes. This has been officially one of my longest broadcasts. So don't worry, it's nearly over. So once I get to the end of this section, I'll end this broadcast, but then I'll start up the next one. I might start the next one up straight away, or I might save and then finish up playing for the day. So yeah, this will be the last fight of this area, and it's Vesper soldiers and Thermodon, but they've all been preempted, so it's Quake.
New strategy.
Quake will work surprisingly even on those Vesper soldiers that are flying, so switch to the aggression. If Lightning focuses all our efforts on Thermodon. There we go. Lightning can make short work of the Vesper soldiers. And then she can join me.
I was just getting started.
Join me in beating the hell out of Thermodon, but I did hit. As Fang said, she was just getting started. Right, so that's this section complete. So I'm just gonna... I don't think there's any more. I think I've got all the treasure chests, so yeah. So I'm just going to run to this bit, and then there should be a save point through here.
Colonel, we've lost the intruders.
That means we're code yellow. No, wait, code blue? If we were orange, that would mean...
The escapees made it through! They're entering the engine room!
No! Damn the sea!
Intruders located! They're on the weather deck, starboard side!
Make it rain!
Desperate times demand flexibility. Code White.
Ooh. Oh, right, that's nice to know. A demo I've just downloaded is completed, but not that you really need to know that. So, oh, yep, we're back in control of Saz and Vanille now.
How is that? What's going on?
Right, so I'm just going to save this game here, but first thing, should have a bit of a windfall of credit chips and incentive chips, so 6, and there we go. There we go, I'll spend that wisely, or I'll save it, but anyway, I'm going to save this game, and I'm going to say my goodbyes, so thank you very much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a bit long, I know. So I'll end this broadcast now, and I will see you again for the next one. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.